This is a real scene from a real Christmas film on Netflix.
Oh, very good.
What was that? And how did I end up watching this? Well, with the Christmas spirit in the air, I sat down to rewatch some of my favourite Christmas classics. Home Alone. Then Netflix is like, yeah, we don't have Home Alone, but what about our very own Christmas Chronicles? So you go, okay, Muppets Christmas Carol. Then Netflix go, yeah, we don't have that either, but what about Christmas as usual? The Princess Switch 1, 2 and 3, Falling for Christmas, Best Christmas Ever, Home for Christmas, A Christmas Prince, A Royal Baby, Christmas Inheritance, The Noel Diary, The Night Before Christmas, A Castle for Christmas, Operation Christmas Drop, I Believe in Santa, Christmas with You. Then just to make sure that Netflix have a good enough stake in the Christmas season, Scrooge, A Christmas Carol, Holiday Rush, The Claus Family, Jingle Jangle, Angela's Christmas 1 and 2, Christmas on Mistletoe Farm, Catering Christmas, The Holiday Calendar, I Hate Christmas, Free Reign, the 12 Nays of Christmas, Love Hard, Holiday, Single All the Way, Jack Whitehall, Christmas with My Father. And after that arduous process of sifting through everything that Netflix has to offer, I just sit there, give up, and go to sleep. Because let's be real, that rollercoaster of scrolling through Netflix's extensive festive library was more exhilarating and exhausting than watching the entire Princess Switch trilogy. But for the sake of the video, I forced myself to sit through 3 of these little gems, one after the other. It took 5 hours. Taking notes and critiquing the films like Anton Ego, and exploring the phenomenon that is Netflix's hallmark Christmas movies. The contenders were The Princess Switch, Falling for Christmas, and finally, A Christmas Prince. Right, let's begin. Also, I apologise for my microphone, because every time I say Christmas or Princess, it goes The Princess Switch opens on the most Netflix sequence I have ever seen. Get the fire started, it's Christmas. Get the fire started, it's Christmas. Some stock footage they bought off of Shutterstock, with some graphics that an intern found on Google Fonts. All of this is useful as it establishes the film is set in Chicago. This is the only scene set in Chicago. Oh, never mind. It's for Snessa Snudgins. She's the one from High School Musical. Honestly, if there's anyone I trust to pull this together, it's Snessa Snudgins. Now, in this sequence, it is subtly suggested that Vanessa Hudgens' character, Stacy, is a baker and is beloved by all.
Your bakery is the best kept secret in Chicago. Oh.
We are also introduced to her co-worker, Kevin, and his daughter, Olivia, who I have no hate for the actor or anything, but she is awful. Anyone that goes, Dad, is just too much. They then have a normal human interaction, which is completely obliterated by the constant whirring of the royalty-free soundtrack in the background.
Are there any sugar cookies left for your favorite goddaughter?
Well, you are my only goddaughter.
And their clothes. Why are they so clean? They're meant to be bakers. In this next section of dialogue, they perfectly execute the rule of show, don't tell.
Aren't you going to tell her the news?
What news?
Hey, you know the Christmas baking contest you're always talking about?
Uh-huh.
The really fancy one at that Christmas festival in Belgravia that only the best pastry chefs in the entire world get invited to.
Uh-huh.
Ta-da!
Oh wait, my bad. There was no show, just tell. Anyway, Kevin and Olivia secretly signed Stacy up for this premium baking competition in the royal land of Belgravia. But Stacy can't do it because she isn't spontaneous enough.
When is it?
Wheatley Friday.
Kev, we can't just close up shop right before Christmas.
Could you be spontaneous for once in your life?
You know I'm not good at spontaneous.
I think this is supposed to represent her as humble. After rejecting Kevin and Olivia, she then donates to charity to show how kind she is. I think this is supposed to represent her as caring, but I'm not very clever, so I don't really know. And the old man says,
Christmas sure is a magical time of year, wouldn't you say? Christmas wishes have been known to come true.
haha, yeah. Quick, get away from him as soon as possible. Also, someone else donates, and the old man completely ignores them. After bumping into her ex, who is with someone else now, she feels belittled and changes her mind on the baking competition.
I guess we're going to Belgravia.
I guess we're going to Belgravia.
And just like that, they were there.
I've got some more over here.
Hang on, what is the same old man from Chicago doing in Belgravia? He must be a narrative device to help move the plot along.
I'm sorry, you look so familiar.
You really go all out for Christmas here, huh?
It's in honor of the royal wedding. The prince is getting married to the Duchess of Montenaro on New Year's Day.
Is she pretty?
Oh, stop
talking.
We haven't seen much of her. The Duchess is what you'd call camera shy. Doesn't allow her picture to be taken.
Or maybe it's plot convenience because the main character looks identical to the Duchess because they're the same actor.
Well, maybe she's just a really private person.
No, did you not just hear what I said? Then it cuts to the most horrible corporate looking building in which the baking competition will take place. And also this scene.
Oh, I am so sorry. No problem.
Hang on, they look the same.
Where have I seen this before?
Also, I can't fail to mention Vanessa Hudgens' British accent, which is so frightful that surely it has to be done on purpose.
Did you say you were a baker?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness me. That is just one of the accents I've ever heard. I'm so sure these films take so many shortcuts just so that they stand out as easy viewing. Honestly, they should have let me dub over her voice instead.
No problem. Lady Margaret Delacourt, Duchess of Montenaro. Did you say you were a baker?
For plot convenience, they arrange a consultation later in the day where they talk about the Duchess's wedding cake.
I could really use an expert opinion on my wedding cake.
But before that, we have to appreciate how poor and humble the main characters are.
Maybe you and I could watch some more of the ballet, and you could ask how much the summer program costs.
Liv, you know we could never afford something like that.
Hey, honey, we could never afford that.
And if we felt connected with these people on an emotional level, that would have been destroyed with the most goofy secret handshake I've ever seen. However, we do not connect with them on any level, so that's fine.
I really wish you and Stacy were a thing.
I really wish you and Stacey were a thing.
Oh, Olivia, you just say all the wrong things.
With this really well done establishing shot, which no way looks like it was shot on an iPhone 5, we move to the palace of Belgravia, where some overworked and underpaid Netflix writer put together a reason for them looking completely identical through this woman here. I'm not exactly sure what her role is, but she just stands around and gives advice and support when needed. Together they come up with a plan to swap places for 2 days so that the Duchess can experience a normal poor person's life for a change. If you feel there is no chemistry in this scene where they are trying to imitate each other's walks, well, that's because there isn't any. Now, where have I seen this before? This scene is just a one-to-one copy of Princess Diaries, which also happens to be a film about someone suddenly unexpectedly becoming a princess. And now at this point they have swapped clothes and are pretending to be one another.
What do you think? Stacy DeNovo. How's it hanging? How's it hanging?
A bit much, is it?
A bit much, is it?
This is just Trisha Paytas attempting to do a British accent.
Well, hello, new traveller. I ain't seen you around these parts before. You have absolutely famished. Candles. You know what they are?
Who is it?
Edward.
Just one moment, if you please.
Do I really sound so Downton Abbey?
I don't know, I'm trying.
Do I really sound so Downton Abbey?
I can't do this. I can't do this. Don't speak the name of one of the greatest shows on TV as a throwaway line. You see, this is a problem because people around the world are gonna grow up thinking we sound like this.
Do I really sound so Downton Abbey?
Also, this flavour of British accent continues throughout the entire 1 hour and 30-minute duration of the film. The two lookalikes have now swapped clothes and are acting on each other's behalf, which gives way to lots of scenes which are supposed to be comedic and entertaining, but are simply tiresome and predictable.
I trust the accommodations are to your liking.
Oh yes, they're top drawer.
But is there a problem with the sofa?
No, not at all.
You seem to keep staring at it.
I have a lazy eye.
Herbie, you're supposed to be stone cold watching this film. Don't let anyone think you found this scene funny.
Meanwhile, the Duchess goes to the cabin that Stacy is staying, dressed up as her, peering through the window just to see this. That is one happy man. Then the same kind of interaction happens where they are awkward for the sake of being awkward.
Taking in the sights, and there are a lot of sights to see.
To be fair, that sounds like something I'd say.
Well, it's getting late. I better catch some Z's. Good night.
Oh look, the slow, boring, predictable nature of the film has finally made me fall asleep.
Herbie, wake up.
Anyway, a whole bunch of hijinks and mishaps occur to really spice up the comedic value of the film. And I'll tell you this, it was an absolute blast.
Your Majesties.
I trust you slept well.
Very well indeed. The weather is particularly splendid today, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. No, but really, when I found out this was a rom-com, a romantic comedy, I was genuinely surprised because I did not laugh once. This is so me watching The Princess Switch. However, the Duchess's plans are eventually foiled as she is outed for not knowing the special handshake.
Breakfast is ready.
You never burn anything.
I guess I'm a bit nervous with the big contest coming up.
Secret handshake?
Hey.
And look whose fault it is. Well, well, well. If it isn't Olivia. But she doesn't tell anyone because they're having a blast.
Hey there, princess.
Oh, you figured us out. You okay with this, love?
Are you kidding? I get to hang with royalty.
As the film started to get some traction, the old creep appears again and tells Kevin that they are a match made in heaven.
Does the heart good to see two people in love?
Me? With her?
Looks like a match made in heaven to me.
She's not my type.
I wouldn't be so sure.
Okay. The best way to describe these Netflix MPCA productions is wonky. I can easily imagine this being the first ever ChatGPT generated script to be used by Hollywood. I bet this film kickstarted the writer's strike. It's the unnecessary appearances of characters.
Does the heart good to see two people in love?
It's the audio work, like this boy chortling for way too long as the others wait to get a picture with Santa. Or these two strange looking guards outside the palace. Or the set design. Tell me, why is this lavish home decorated with cheap plastic decorations? Even the mistletoe that was conveniently placed above these two.
What's so amusing?
You and your ladyship seem to have stopped under the mistletoe.
Look, this is a low budget film made by a low budget production company. Why are my expectations so high?
They're exactly where they need to be, thank you very much.
Why is the old man back again?
Have you seen the Duchess?
I believe I saw her ladyship in the gazebo.
And after some pointless stock footage, we are shown Stacey's grace and kindness as she reads to the poor and helpless orphans, who I would suggest don't deserve a home.
Is it true you're really a princess? Are you in love with him? I wish I could be a princess.
Now, little one, asking intrusive questions isn't what parents are looking for in a child. I especially love the bit where Stacey looks at their tree and goes,
Is that your Christmas tree?
"Nah, it's a wallet."
Yes, it is.
Where are the presents?
Is that your Christmas tree?
She's basically going, I'm not judging, but when establishing this location, they literally cut to a sprawling forest with millions of Christmas trees. Meanwhile, this is all you could get? Yeah. Thanks. In response to their overwhelmingly disgusting poverty, Stacey bakes up the perfect idea to go to the local toy shop and buy toys for all the orphan children. And this has to be the saddest toy shop I have ever seen. Hey, we have adult elf costumes, a train set, 3 board games, and Twister.
Have you got anything else, like Lego?
Nuh-uh, this film has no budget. However, just as I was nodding off, crisis struck as the two lookalikes both end up finding each other in the toy shop. It would be really helpful if a convenient old man were to walk in and distract Kevin and save him from realizing he's been with the Duchess rather than Stacey this whole time.
Excuse me. Sorry to be a bother. My car's run out of petrol. Oh. The station's down the street, but I can't push it myself. Think you could give an old man a hand?
Oh, thank goodness. With all the toys they bought from their desolate toy shop, mainly consisting of 3 massive teddy bears filling the entire trolley, they wrapped and gifted them to the children's home, where this happens.
Excuse me? You're standing under the mistletoe.
What is this? Anyway, cue more relationship building, and the same goes for the other couple where Kevin gifts the Duchess the most awful locket.
I got you a little something. What'd you think?
I hate it. Then proceeds to smooch, all the while watching a Netflix original Christmas film.
Your favorite?
No, it's your favorite.
Okay, this is actually one of the films I watched later on, and you'll find that it's actually no one's favourite. At this point, it is the night before the baking competition, and Stacey's arch baking nemesis cuts the cord on the stand mixer to slow her down in the competition. Now this may feel completely out of place, because it is. This production had no rhyme or reason to introduce some random baking villain into the mix. Be gone! And if it couldn't get more tense, the lookalike Stacey and the Duchess express feelings for each other's men.
You're in
love with Edward, and you're in love with Kevin.
The Duchess likes Kevin, and Stacey likes the prince.
Oh my goodness, this is getting so exciting.
But as they're saying this, I can't take it seriously as one of them is looking in the completely wrong direction. Oh, but of course, it must be her lazy eye. And if it couldn't get even more tense, the house butler photographs them both together, which could potentially expose their lies to the public. Anyway, Kevin and Stacey win the baking competition, and guess who is there to award the medals? Gulp, her lookalike, the Duchess. But that means they're gonna meet in front of everyone.
I can explain.
There's two of you?
But apparently when the truth is revealed to everyone, that is fine. No one cares, really?
Will you marry me next Christmas?
And why does he propose? Why is the baker villain smiling? She's meant to be the villain. Okay, so the Duchess's life was basically stolen from her. And why does the little girl deliver this line?
You're a real princess now, aren't you?
And why does she start crying afterwards? And why does Olivia speak?
Aren't you gonna throw the bouquet?
And why is the old man there again? And why are there Wish.com LED lights at a royal wedding? I can't take it anymore. Well, that was completely insane. But at the same time, completely nothingy, boring and predictable. A welcome mix, and just what I want to see from a Netflix Christmas production. The reviews consist of harmless. And I know that is supposed to sound positive, but it sounds like something you'd say about someone who looks really rough and scary, but actually, they're just harmless. Uncle Norman, the insane drunk who drove 300 miles per hour over the speed limit, crashing into a family of 12 in their RV. Yeah, he's just harmless if you get to know him.
Vanessa Hudgens makes this just worthwhile.
I mean, yeah, sure.
Don't listen to the bad reviews!
So cheesy, it's actually okay. Well, alright then. So that is that. Oh, and by the way, there are 2 more sequels. Falling for Christmas, our next contender. You might suspect that the title refers to the story. Nope. Well, the main character does fall over, and it is set during Christmas, but that's it. You'll notice that this film opens on the very same production company. Actually, the majority of Christmas films on Netflix are produced by the same company, MPCA, which even says on their Wikipedia that they specialize in low budget productions. And if that isn't a red flag, I don't even know. But there is a reason they are trusted each and every time to produce a Christmas hit. We are first introduced to our protagonist, Lindsay Lohan, or Sierra Belmont, but I'm not calling her that every time. This awkward spinning shot is used, which adds absolutely nothing. As she wakes up, Christmas music is played, just to remind us that it is indeed a Christmas movie. I'm really breaking this apart, but I can't help myself. We are then shown random slow-mo shots of hotel guests getting out of their cars. Well, they must be the main characters.
Nope.
We never see them again.
Then multiple drone shots of the hotel. Well, the film must be set here.
Nope.
I could probably count on my fingers the amount of seconds we are shown the hotel. You see, the Motion Picture Company of America is very comfortable with putting pure filler, absolutely irrelevant shots where they can, just to hit that 1 hour and 35 minute mark. And I can only describe this cinematography as, well, we got an expensive camera and a drone. We should probably use it for something.
No, you shouldn't.
Oh great, there's more. I'm telling you, a slow-mo shot from a ski lift is not key to the story. It is implied through completely subtle hints that Lindsay Lohan's character is spoilt and disrespectful with the line,
He flew me all the way up here in his private jet for Christmas.
followed by her entire entourage of staff.
Wow. Good morning, Miss Belmont. I'm Terry Carver from Guest Services. Your father has asked me to work as your personal assistant while you're here. And this is your glam squad.
We are also introduced to
Tad,
whose role in the film is to propose to Lindsay Lohan and attempt some sort of comic relief. Keyword,
attempt.
He's also an influencer.
Lucky you're dating one of Hype Magazine's top social influencers then.
Honestly, seeing an influencer in a Christmas film just makes me feel nauseous. Now, someplace different, we're introduced to Lindsay Lohan's dad and someone else begging for money from him.
This place looks like something out of SpaceX. Well, we try to stay ahead of the curve.
Wow, this place looks like something out of SpaceX.
Right. The rocket manufacturing company.
Studies show that 70% of beginners learn to ski at these smaller resorts.
Like yours. And you think that I should invest in your lodge in order to make sure that this keeps happening, is that correct?
More or less, yeah.
Apparently that compliment didn't work, as he was rejected the money that he asked for. It then cuts back to Lindsay, where she walks out the lift with an over-the-top outfit, which was only put in the story so that the man from a moment ago,
Jake Russell,
can accidentally spill his hot chocolate on her.
Oh my god!
am so sorry.
Meet cute. The execution in this scene was flawless. I love when the stage direction was to slide through the small gap between those two guests, even though there clearly is enough space to walk normally. Then he performs his pirouette, which eventually leads into the splosh. Classic Netflix Christmas film moment. And just when I was reaching a nice distance in the timeline from when the word influencer was mentioned, it happens again.
So, Ted, how is this online internet business thing of yours going?
It's Tad, Daddy. And it's not a business thing. Tad's an influencer.
Shut up. Yeah, that's right. You tell her.
Millions of people follow him.
In complete contrast to the harsh, modern-looking hotel, we are presented with
Jake Russell's
sweet and cozy North Star Lodge, as well as his daughter and her grandmother. Where's the mother, though?
She's dead because Lindsay Lohan needed to take her place, and it also offers emotional dialogue.
Dad, why did this Netflix writer have to make it so that I have no mom anymore? I am upset now.
Belmont was literally the last resort. I mean, if the rest of the season's this way, I don't think...
We just need a little patience.
What we need is a miracle.
Haven't you heard that? Christmas is the time for miracles.
Oh, I'm sorry. Didn't you see the sign at the film shoot that said, "No annoying, overly optimistic young girls"? Yeah, we had it put in after the princess switch. At this point,
Jake Russell
is upset because he realizes his business is going under. He also opens up his desk drawer only to find a woman inside who had been left in there too long, to the point where she's suffocated and died. This makes him upset. With a dreadful establishing shot showing some irrelevant rooftops, this tells us we are back at the hotel, whereby Lindsay Lohan and her father have a long drawn out sentimental conversation about her, you guessed it, dead mother.
This hotel reminds me so much of her. I still miss her.
This will come in handy later when Lindsay and
Jake Russell's
daughter, who also has a
dead mother,
can relate to one another. Meanwhile,
my lady, you try to wait.
It's all smoke and mirrors, baby. Okay, Snowmobile, unhook.
What are you doing?
I understand Tad is supposed to be extremely obnoxious, but what is more cringe is that they actually had to film and act all of this out. This is so me watching Falling for Christmas. Meanwhile, the daughter and grandma attend a Christmas market where they are stared at by an old man for a really, really long time. No, but for real, when I saw this scene with my family last year, I got really weirded out.
Huh?
Like, he actually keeps on looking, and if you didn't find that odd, watch this.
There, I wish...
Don't tell me. You have to keep it a secret or it won't come true. Let's put it up in that branch.
What? This was supposed to be him using some kind of magic and making her Christmas wish come true, but it's just weird. It's just really weird. What is that? Ew, why is he doing that? Ew. And with the magical blast of wind that he generates, just as Lindsay was proposed to by Tad, she's blown off the mountainside. Left for dead.
Tad
also falls, but he finds a man in a fishing hut and they do this whole adventure and they end up back at the hotel safe and sound. See, that was an entire section of the story that I just covered in 2 seconds. Why? Because it has no substance or gravity on the rest of the narrative. However, I must say the absurdity of Tad's scenes are so absurd that I've never felt escapism like it. So maybe it's not so bad. At this very moment,
Jake Russell
finds the dead body of Lindsay Lohan whilst giving his hotel customers a ride in a sleigh. One of them gives a really realistic line.
Oh, it better not be a dead body.
Oh, it better not be a dead body.
Hey, miss, can you hear me? Oh, how is she?
Physically, she's all right. Minor concussion, but that's not the real problem. She says she doesn't remember anything prior to the accident.
However, it turns out she's been diagnosed with a common case of convenient plot points, otherwise known as
amnesia.
Amnesia.
I know who I am. My name is
Charles II.
Jake Russell reluctantly agrees to give Lindsay Lohan a place to stay in his very own lodge while she remembers who she is.
What happened?
I sure hope she doesn't fall in love with him. And it wouldn't be a Netflix Christmas film if another Netflix Christmas film didn't play on the TV in the Netflix Christmas film. It also wouldn't be a Netflix Christmas film if a young girl with no boundaries gets into conversation with the protagonist.
Hello.
Your room is a mess. I'm Matthew. You're the lady who doesn't know who she is, right?
They then have a sentimental conversation about their lack of mothers and stuff, and how hard it is.
Is this your mom?
She died almost 2 years ago.
I'm so sorry.
Where is Tad and his comic relief when you need it? Oh, he's hiking through the forest all alone. Oh, poor Tad. The next section of the film is basically a compilation of how bad Lindsay Lohan is at everything. She can't cook, she can't make a bed, she can't unblock a toilet, she can't clean clothes, she can't even carry stuff. Oh, what a klutz. Meanwhile, the lodge are falling behind with business and
Jake Russell
just can't handle it anymore, and he lashes out.
Oh, what happened here?
I'm sorry.
Great. This is the last thing I need right now.
This makes her sad. However, after a quick one-to-one and boring relationship building, they attend another Christmas market. I feel like I've said that exact sentence 5 times previously. And guess who's also at the market watching them? Huh? The old man. I'm sure I've also said that 10 times previously. And he's only in this scene to point out the sleigh.
Isn't it beautiful?
You have very good taste in sleighs, young lady. Rides like the wind. I am afraid it is out of our league.
Oh. And you know, it's not like they need the sleigh later on in the film. No, definitely not. I'm telling you, NPCA just use old men to introduce things to the story that they're too lazy to introduce properly.
Does the heart good to see two people in love?
Me? With her?
Looks like a match made in heaven to me.
Anyway.
You know what? I gotta go because I'm gonna be late for the toy drive.
A toy drive?
Yeah, I pretty much do the toy drive every year. No big deal.
You know, Summit Springs has one every year for families who are having a rough go of it, so.
That's really sweet.
You see, the middle of a film can be quite a mess. Oftentimes it is filled up with a lot of soul searching, no specific goal or resolution that you can see in the opening or the end of the film. And Netflix's answer to that is just to make the lead character do charity work.
How's it going?
I just finished my first one.
Wow.
I just don't know what we do around here without Jake Russell. He volunteers, he donates money. I can't even count how many charities he's helped out in town.
Not only does it make their character appear friendly and empathetic, but it also fills up a lot of time. Just out of nowhere, the lead will go,
Hey, I pretty much do this charity toy drive every year.
Is that your Christmas tree?
Yes, it is.
Where are the presents?
We don't have the budget for presents.
Frank, the nearest toy emporium on the double.
And speaking of formula, guess what they're standing under?
Mistletoe!
We are standing under the mistletoe.
Yes, we are.
You know what, maybe we shouldn't do this.
Oh, come on. What am I paying for then? Just do it. After much deliberation, they plan a fundraiser to put the lodge back on track with the help of a long montage with the most royalty-free sounding Christmas music I've ever heard. No one arrives. Until they do!
Merry Christmas!
Hey!
And like ants swarming some spilt Fanta, they group together, and almost like it was scripted, one by one they give their thanks, and one thing they're grateful to.
Jake Russell!
I remember the first time our family came to the North Star Lodge. You took my son under your wing and taught him to ski. I figured I owe you this much for ski lessons.
When we got married, we could not afford a honeymoon.
You gave us the biggest suite in the place for the weekend. Champagne and everything.
We want to give you this.
Followed by lots and lots of cash. We did it, everyone! We saved the lodge! The lodge is saved! Woo! Whoa! Look who turned up! It's only Tad and Lindsay Lohan's father to take her home. And although she remembers them, Lindsay Lohan has undergone a complete character arc, later represented by her making her own bed.
Belmont, what are you doing?
Oh, I'm just helping the housekeepers out a bit.
And she says, no, I want Jake Russell, not Tad. So she dumps him on their wedding day.
What are you doing?
I'm sorry, Tad. You're a great guy, but I'm just not ready for this yet.
Are you breaking up with me? On Christmas Day? Huh. Do you mind if I post about this on my page? My followers will love it.
But Tad doesn't mind. He has other plans.
You, Terry? Yep. What are you doing for New Year's?
What? Meanwhile,
Jake Russell
still thinks Tad is getting married to Lindsay Lohan, and he needs to say that he loves her.
Maybe not.
But whoa, the snowmobile is completely busted. Perhaps he could use his conveniently placed sled that the old man had earlier. I wonder if this cheeky fella had anything to do with this. Oh, speak of the devil, there he is.
Excuse me, son. Huh? I believe what you're looking for is in the back courtyard.
Oh, he's such an odd one. He's actually really weird. Like, this is actually really, really weird. Anyway, they smooch and live happily ever after. All in all, who cares if your wife dies because there is a Lindsay Lohan waiting for you.
Wait, why is the old man back again? Why does he have to make so many appearances? He has no influence on the story at all.
Some reviews were, people are being too harsh, or you're being too soft. Made me feel good. Made me feel good too. Call this movie a casserole. I'm not reading all that to find out why it's a casserole. Now about time we watch our third and final film.
A Christmas Prince.
Now since I value my time, I'm going to get through this one a little quicker, hopefully. I didn't. The film opens on the typical Motion Picture Corporation of America stock footage of a major American city with an incredible snow overlay, randomly cutting to nighttime, irrelevant locations, suddenly daytime again, and snowing. Just no consistency. And then we are introduced to our lead. She is a woman in her 30s. Okay, that holds up to the other films so far. Judging by this awful millennial workspace and the subtle dialogue.
Excuse me, Ron.
Not now.
I just had a couple of questions about your article, the Fashion Week piece that I'm editing.
Amber, I don't have time for this right now. Just clean it up.
It's not just a cleanup, it's a major rewrite.
Just fix it, okay?
Amber, we're junior editors, not writers.
How else am I supposed to become a real journalist?
She is a junior editor, not a writer, which is her dream. However, her work never give her the opportunity to shine. Also, these are her friends and they have no personality. Now, prepare to meet the most obnoxious Wait, what's she wearing? Oh, this came out in 2017. Yeah, fair enough. Prepare to meet the most obnoxious person. And no, it's not Tad, it's Max.
So, what do you know about the royal family of Aldovia?
Aldovia? Wait, the king died last year and the prince who's supposed to take over is a total flake.
Flake, international playboy, and scandalous socialite.
I cannot express this writing team's ability to tell rather than show us.
Playboy Prince Richard took off before Daddy died. So, they need to button the big chair by Christmas Day.
Oh, she's just awful. Damn, she is so obnoxious. Yep. Thanks. And just like that, in an actual millisecond, we know that she'll end up living in Aldovia and marry the prince. So basically, Amber, that's her name by the way, she has been given an assignment to cover the Prince of Aldovia, and she takes it up because this might just be her time to shine, to put her foot in the door if you will.
Oh, she did the thing. She gave to charity. She's a good person.
See, I just would not have known otherwise. To know someone is good, I need to physically see them giving money to charity or helping orphans.
Standing under the mistletoe.
Or for them to say, I am good. Off she goes to the distant lands of Aldovia. Oh wait, it actually exists?
Huh?
No, it doesn't. It really doesn't. I must have got confused during the writing. As she leaves the airport and is looked at by a bunch of press people, her cab is taken away by, guess who? Guess who? Come on, guess who? It's the prince. Meet cute.
Excuse me.
I'm sorry, I really have to go.
No, but this is my cab.
I apologize.
You can't just do that. Selfish jerk.
Man just took her cab.
Seriously. Can you believe that guy?
Also, I love that line so much. That man just took her cab. Seriously, can you believe this guy? That is so good. That is so good. Amber is now at the event, and it appears the prince is taking a long time to appear. And to make sure the audience knows this, one of the journalists says,
Oh, come on, what's taking so long?
I realize you've traveled a great distance to be here, but I'm sorry to announce we're going to have to cancel the press conference.
He cancelled? What the hell?
Prince Richard is unavailable at this time.
More like he's avoiding the press. Does this mean that the prince is abdicating the throne?
He seriously stole the show. What a force. Amber is obviously thinking that she can't go back to New York empty-handed. You know, she went all that way. And this is her time to shine, remember? So she says it out loud.
I can't go home empty-handed.
She sneaks in and takes some really blurry photos of the palace interior. She is then caught by Butler.
Ah, American.
And is mistaken for Princess Emily's tutor.
You must be the new American tutor for Princess Emily.
Yes.
Okay guys, this is pretty insane. She is just a journalist, but she is mistaken for someone else. This is gonna go off the rails. She is taken on a walk through the building, palace, mansion, I don't know what to call it. After passing a load more plastic decorations, she walks in on the queen and the prince bickering. Then the prince is like, You? And Amber is like, gulp. Second meet cute. By the way, if the film didn't make it clear before, the prince is the one who took her vehicular transport at the airport. Now, if I get my checklist out, right about now we should be expecting a young girl to join the cast.
There you are, my little imp.
Aha, there we go. Sure, maybe I was a little harsh on the last two. Maybe I shouldn't be so judgmental.
Who are you and what are you doing in my palace? You are supposed to call me your Royal Highness.
Oh, she's awful. And her mum just goes,
Emily, Manners.
You know what I would say?
Emily, you're going to the dungeon!
She then knocks over a conveniently fall-overable vase. And with literally the worst drone B-roll I've ever seen, actually insane. We cut to the next day where Amber attempts to tutor Princess Emily. After about 2 minutes of talking, that gave me a good opportunity to get some. But this next bit woke me back up.
You're wondering what happened to me, aren't you?
No? I honestly and truly don't think anyone was thinking that. I think it's important representation, especially in a film that would have featured on the front page of Netflix. But what genius writer thought?
You know what this scene needs? Disability awareness. And you know what we should cast for this?
Someone without a disability.
Don't judge me for this reference, but when my sister watched Glee, I would often be in the same room, okay? I didn't watch it. That's what I'm trying to say. And it's just reminding me of Artie. Yeah, just get anyone to play the character using the wheelchair. It also reminds me of during Remembrance Week at school. For people who lost their limbs in the war, they'd make us play netball without using our legs. And the teachers would just stand on the side watching 50 students rolling on the floor thinking they taught us a valuable lesson. Anyway.
No, I just...
It's called spinal bifida, and there is no cure. Poor little rich girl. That's what you're thinking.
No, I was thinking,
spoiled brat!
Amber the journalist exploits her growing friendship with Princess Emily to get closer to the prince, to learn his secrets in order to write a horrible article about him and ruin his reputation. She also breaks a window. Oh guys, did you just see that? He pretty much messed up there. Oh.
How do you even read this stuff? It's like gibberish. Scatter plots? What is that? I mean, what do I do?
Could hire a tutor. Just stay calm and be at one with the numbers.
Throughout the entire film, she also gets help from her millennial besties on her laptop with the most unrealistic user interface. Hang on, let me correct this. Much better. And their soulless personalities just serve as a way for Amber to tell the audience how she is doing.
I mean, what do I do?
Emily changes her tune and invites Amber to a royal gathering.
I'd like you to be my guest.
The royal family will be serving cocktails to esteemed members of the nobility. And you.
Jellied meat, madame?
But this scene doesn't serve anything other than Amber really obviously taking photos of all the guests. And also all the rich people looking down on Amber because she's so horrible and poor. Ugh. Including Simon, who is second in line for the throne.
Did the Queen invite one of the chambermaids?
This is my tutor.
If it wasn't obvious, he is a villain. Oh. Amber's silliness continues. Ah yes, let me stand right in front of him as he plays, and hold up my phone to take a video. It would be a shame if I were to make myself noticed too. Huh? Wow, who saw that coming? They then get into a sentimental chat about their parents dying.
After my father passed away, she took it very hard.
I lost my mom. Leukemia.
Oh god no, not leukemia. Right, let's take parents dying off the list. Honestly, these films are all the same, but in different fonts. She also discovers that, wait, the prince is actually really decent and nice, and he's not how the media portray him. Maybe I'll just marry him then. Yawn. This film is really boring. I need some drama.
Morning.
Good morning.
What are you up to?
Just catching up on some emails. Are you ready for your lesson?
No, we're going to bake Christmas cookies instead.
You're gonna get me in big trouble if we don't start your lesson by 9.
Not nearly as much trouble as if I told them your real name. Miss Amber Moore.
Drama. Oh, she got exposed. Wait, I think I've seen this exact scene before.
Hey there, princess. Oh, you figured us out.
Oh yeah. Fear not though, Emily agrees not to tell anyone as long as they have fun together. The next day they go to the charity benefit to raise money for the orphans.
Thanks to all of you for supporting our holiday festival to benefit the children of St. Joseph's Orphanage.
Ah. However, guess who hasn't attended the benefit? The prince again.
Will the coronation be postponed? Oh no, of course not.
If so, who will rule the country?
Everyone please, he was here a moment ago.
However, it turns out he is at the orphanage with the orphans themselves.
Every time we do a benefit, my brother ends up here.
He really cares about these kids.
Now, I think the writers are trying to tell us, through clever writing, that he's a nice person, but it's really subtle. It's really subtle. Also, this happens.
Hey! Sorry.
Tell me, who bumps into someone in a wheelchair and goes,
Oh, what are you doing that for?
I don't know, it's just something I noticed. Anyway, now that we have two main characters who give to charity and play with the orphans, their relationship is about to skyrocket. But before the prince proposes in the last 5 minutes of the film, there has to be a major fallout.
Oh, what will this be? The suspense is killing me.
I'm joking, I could not care less. Unfortunately, Amber gets mauled by a wolf. I'm joking, it's worse. It turns out the prince is adopted, meaning he is no longer in line for the throne.
Richard, there's something that I need to tell you.
But Amber hasn't told anyone this news, so the coronation goes on as planned.
Ah yes, lovely blue LED lights at a royal coronation.
If any of the peerage wish to dispute Prince Richard's claim to the throne, speak now or forever stay silent.
It would be a great shame if someone were to dispute the coronation.
I dispute this claim.
I dispute this claim.
Oh no, she must have found the adoption document.
On what ground?
This documentation states that Prince Richard is in fact adopted.
Not only this, but Amber's real identity is exposed to everyone.
I obtained it by uncovering a scheme by a journalist posing as a tutor to the princess. You have to know that I didn't mean for this to happen.
I don't know anything anymore. I don't know who you are. I don't even know who I am.
Oh no, it's all gone wrong.
So this was the fallout. And nothing does that dramatic intense scene justice like 5 seconds of overexposed filler footage.
It's so bad. It's so bad.
So unfortunately, the film ends with Simon getting crowned the king of Aldovia.
No, of course it doesn't.
After, Amber goes home and her dad says some wise dad stuff.
That's probably not as bad as you think.
Then she somehow makes the connection that the law that can declare him as king is hidden inside a Christmas decoration. Sure.
Top tier Netflix writing.
Amber makes it just in time before Simon is crowned king and disputes the claim.
Stop!
But oh no, the magazine didn't want Amber's story.
Thoughtful, mature, well-written story that will never see the light of day.
They didn't like how she didn't have footage of the prince slapping orphans and flailing his sister around by the arms.
Because they're in love.
So instead, Amber leaves that job and writes a blog about the prince. Okay. Anyway, it's a happy ending. I don't have time to talk about it in any more detail because I just can't. Bish bash bong, happy ending, the prince proposes, happy ending, all good, woohoo. Reviews read, on the fence. Only if I could care to read that. Perfect for people who like a rom-com. Wait, that was a romantic comedy? I mean, call it a Chris Rom, a Christmas romantic, because I didn't laugh for once. Not to be confused with Chris Rom on LinkedIn. And last of all, an arrow to the heart for me. You must have a really huge heart. So look, I'm gonna be honest. Before starting this project, I was even considering increasing the playback speed when watching the films. But since I'm not psychotic, I did not. It turns out all 3 films were completely watchable and somewhat enjoyable. This genre can literally be described as copy and paste. And that doesn't have to be a negative, that's just why people take great comfort when viewing them. That joined with the warmth and nostalgia from Christmas. It is a beautiful blend. You know, if I were to pick a favourite, I'd probably go for Falling for Christmas. Even though the whole influencer thing was... Even though that made me sick, it was kind of refreshing compared to the medieval style or the other two. It was all like castles and princesses and princes and kings, and it's just like, Netflix, modernize. Alright, so instead of royalty, we've got capitalism and hotels. So, but I'm not going to pretend I have anything academic to say about this. It's just a bit of fun. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Thank you for watching.